Good morning, family and friends. This is Mike Sneed coming to you again from Save, Invest, Repeat. Coming to you from Actual Service Center. I'm down here this morning. I'm getting another shipment of appliances in for the kids to actually work on to have scratch and dent appliances ready for sale by the time the tax season come around. And also, I got some more shipment coming in from the actual stores that we do the repairs for. So I'm waiting to get those shipments in this morning. I'm just going to give you a quick look of what we've done with the repair center so far, some of the product we got in, and just show you where we are today. And let me spin this camera around. All right. Service center pretty much is the repair side of it. Back here in the back, we pretty much got everything where we need to have it. Right here on the wall, that's our TV we have where they can look. We actually show educational videos, so the high school kids, when they come in, they can actually look at repair videos on how to repair certain appliances, and from there, I let them go ahead and try to make repairs to the appliances. Because if they ever go out in the field, a lot of times now we use YouTube videos for most of the appliance manufacturers now. They put out YouTube videos. You don't get so many like we used to have, like paper manuals and stuff. Mostly now it's going to be YouTube videos. So I want to get them into the mind frame of being able to look at a YouTube video and then apply that and go make a repair. So we got the repair video, we got the repair manual up there for them to make their repair, so they can look at it, and then go apply it to the actual products. Back here, this weekend the kids came in. They, as you can see, they got the shelves up now. It's all pretty much very well organized, to say the least. Back here, where we keep all our stuff. Over here, that's all the stuff we use to repair our houses and stuff. So we got all that on that corner. Right here, the merchandise they're working on. Right here, they came in this weekend. This is one of the ranges they're working on. The door's broken, so they ordered the parts for that. That should be here probably tomorrow, either Wednesday. They have that done. Here we still waiting on the power cord for that, so we can fix that power chair for them. Here is the shipment of appliances that we got over the weekend for them to work on. These are the ones when they come back this Saturday. They're going to actually start repairing these, washing them, and painting them. And we're going to start putting these on the showroom floor. We're going to start off with washers and dryers only. That's the most common repairs you have while you're in appliance repair. So I want to get them a good footing on washers and dryers. And they're the easiest ones to move also as far as selling. So we're going to start off doing washers and dryers for the first couple of months, and then we'll move on to another appliance. And I got another shipment of washers and dryers coming this morning. So this is what they're going to start on this weekend. They're going to start repairing these and getting these ready for sale. There we go. So it's moving right along. We've been here probably now about 2 weeks, and y'all saw it from the beginning when we came in, and nothing was here. And in 2 weeks, we up and running, making money in this place. The kids now, it actually have become a classroom. It's actually a little mini school where they can come in now on the weekends and actually learn a trade. And they're learning this trade. They're not paying. They're actually getting paid while they learn this trade, and they're liking it. I question them all the time. Is they liking it? They're saying, yeah, they really like it. So they're actually learning, while they're learning the trade, they're getting paid. And so I'm really happy with the process. Let me switch this around. Also, like I said, on Wednesday, I got a guy coming in, another technician. He's going to start working on Wednesday, and he'll be working in here, actually fixing the appliances that come in for the service center and getting trained. So then eventually he'll go out and start doing service calls and stuff for me. But I'm bringing him here on Wednesday, and I'll train him in the service center, and he'll be fixing the appliances here. Then he'll be going out also doing service calls. Okay, so now we're gonna get to the meat of this video. Why do you start so many businesses? Over the weekend, last week It was this guy, a rapper everybody might have seen called Soldier Boy. He went on a couple of interviews, and one of the interviewers they were just questioning him about all the stuff he has done. And fortunate enough, because of social media, he has really done his career on social media and has really videotaped everything. Everything he said could be validated. He had receipts of everything he said he had done, and you could go back and validate it because he had recorded everything through social media. And one of the questions one of the panel asked him, "Why do you start so many businesses?" And a lot of people now are getting on the panel and said that's a crazy question. But unfortunately, as entrepreneurs, we hear that all the time. This weekend, I had a chance to do an interview on JT Hustles. I want to thank him again for allowing me to come on his platform and do that interview. But I had an interview with JT Hustles, and we were just talking about the different businesses and stuff that I have, and how kind of sharing my story. And I want to thank everybody who's been going over and subscribing to the channel Save, Invest, Repeat. I want to thank everybody for that also. But after the interview, at the end, he was asking me what pushes me to keep going on and stuff. And I said one of the things is kind of like what they done to Soldier Boy. Whenever I get around family and friends, a lot of times it's not so much to ask me how my businesses and stuff are doing, or if they can help me in any of my businesses and anything I got going on. Most of the time, it's to defend what I'm doing while I'm doing business. People constantly asking me why you start so many businesses, why you so into business, why you want to talk business all the time, and it get to a point where when you start, you become almost like the Soldier Boy, where you get so passionate about it because you're looking at it. You say, hey, I'm actually out here, for instance, for this service center. This service center, I'm out here. I'm creating a business. I'm also creating employment for family and friends. Any of my family and friends, if they wanted to work, they'll tell you. I just tell them, come on, let's start. You can work. I find something in one of my businesses you can do if you need a job. So I'm creating jobs for them for my community. Not only that, now I'm going back to in this service center. I'm going back. I'm getting the young men, and I'm training them. You know, most of the time you have to go. You have to go to a community college or to a union trade school or something to learn this. And here I am. Not only am I not just teaching them this, but I'm paying them as they go. I'm giving them a salary, and a lot of times it's their kids and stuff that I'm giving the jobs and stuff to, and they're questioning me why I'm doing it. And nobody never it seems like they're happy about it. It's like they always waiting for something to happen, saying, okay, waiting for the shoe to drop. Oh, just wait, something's not going to work and he's not going to be able to do it. It's something bad's going to happen. This weekend, a lot of people ask me, but why you ain't finished your houses yet? I told them, I said, from the beginning, I told you for the houses, it's going to be a 5 to 10 year process. It's not something I'm doing overnight. And I'm doing it through cash flow, and I'm doing it myself. It's a learning process. And I said it's also a classroom. So what happens, I'm going out there, but I said now we're fighting against Mother Nature, you know, especially in North Carolina, where we got a crazy amount of rain for the last several months, and we got snow. So the stuff that I need to do is been affected by the weather. So I said, well, I can't get out there, but the fact of the matter is because I'm totally, I pay for everything by cash, that I don't have a note or anything on there where I have to be worried about going to make payments and stuff. So if it got set a month, who cares? It's my house. It don't cost me anything. And it's set there a month till I get back out there and got time. At the same time, while it's sitting there, I'm still funding those projects, so the money is stacking up on that side. So when I go back there, I still got enough money to go. It's not pushing me anything. It's still moving along, and we're good. And so all I'm doing now, I'm taking the kids who normally would be out there working on those houses. Now we're coming in here into the service center and actually starting to work and learn the appliance end of it. And they're going to do both. They'll go out to the houses, they'll learn the skilled trades, and they'll learn the appliances. And to think that for especially and most of the time it's my own people, African Americans who seem to be mad about it that you're doing this. For them to be mad and to actually come at you, uh, I never seen them fight people so hard for somebody trying to help them than they do for somebody who they know is getting over on them. When they I mean they fight with a force that causes you to get out of character sometimes. And sometimes this weekend was one of the ones after I done the interview. One of the ones where I had to last night I had to really come back and get myself back together, because I'm telling you, after this weekend, it was a rough go at it. It was a rough go at it. After fighting, say, hey, I'm doing something for the community, creating jobs. I'm paying people. You never heard of me. Some of the things that really get you too. Some of the people have actually have to come and probably worked within your company, and your company might have been a launch pad for them to go do something else, and they don't come to your defense either. They get on the other people's side and sometimes and keep questioning. Now, yeah, do I want to be challenged? And do I want to be challenged? Yeah, I want to be challenged. Do I want to be held accountable for stuff? Yes, I do. But in the meantime, I also want people to also, you see, I'm a small businessman and I'm doing all of this. I also want people to actually come in and actually sometimes just say, hey man, I appreciate what you're doing, and keep your head up, keep moving. Don't just keep beating me down. Let me see. I got a question, Jerry Brooks. Thanks for watching, Jerry. You answer questions from people that are not doing anything with their own life. Why? Okay. Why do I answer questions from people not doing anything with their own lives? Unfortunately, within our community, there's not many African American business owners, and there's not many people. And Jerry is an entrepreneur too. He has a lot of businesses going on too. And I commend him. He's very good dude. Unfortunately, we have to change this dynamic that's going on in the African American community, where we think the only way to have employment is to go work for someone. We got to show this other side of entrepreneurship, especially for the younger kids. So when you get within your family and friends and stuff in your network, most of the time you might be the only entrepreneur there. And y'all and the older people will start having conversations with you about entrepreneurship and stuff that they don't know anything about, but the younger kids are listening. So if I don't say anything and I let them constantly run the conversation and stuff, the younger kids won't never see the value of it, and it'll never put a seed in their mind that, hey, I might could do the same thing that my Uncle Mike was doing. I might be to do the same thing that Mr. Mike, some of them call me, doing, or Mr. Sneed was doing. So you have to actually be there, and you gotta be the one who has to go up against that grain to actually try to draw those kids off. Because I was surprised when I talking to one of the kids that's actually coming here and doing this program with me. That he said he wants to do what I do, and I wouldn't have never thought that until actually talking to him. He said, yeah, I've been looking at what you do, and I want to do what you do. So you have to constantly be on your be as they say, be on your square and putting stuff out there, so because you never know who's watching. But yeah, ordinarily I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't get into a business conversation with somebody who's not doing anything, doesn't know anything about business, because if you do, you'll come off looking crazy to them. So I stay away from the actual business running topics from them, because they wouldn't understand. Like somebody asked me about this service center. They was like, how you gonna make any money at the service center? Because they're saying the people who buys these appliances don't have any money, and they don't know anything about the contract. They don't know anything. They haven't ran any numbers or anything. Versus, like I told them, I said, how do you make that decision that's not going to make any money? I just know it's not going to make any money. But they're just going by their actual feelings and their belief. And you can't argue against somebody's beliefs and feelings. because you're not gonna be able to change if they just believe they're not going on logic. So I was telling them, I said, you don't tell me it's not gonna make any money. You tell me, show me how you're gonna make the money, and then we'll sit down and we'll work the numbers, and I can explain it to you. And then if you look at the numbers that I have and the metrics where I'm looking at where the money is gonna be made, then you then you will start to say, okay, maybe it will make money, then because I can show you the actual logic side of it. Kind of like McDonald's. A lot of people think McDonald's make their money off of cheeseburgers and fries. No, McDonald's make their money off the real estate that they own. So until you sit down and actually see the metrics of how they're making their money, you have no clue. And that's why I said, when I was talking to them, I said, hey, if you want me to tell you about business and stuff, we can have that conversation. But if you just go by your belief, no. Because one time, I might have told this story in another video. But me and a friend, we always have this debate. We used to have this debate once a year where we'll debate W.E.B. Du Bois and Booker T. Washington. And every year, those are two books I always read at the beginning of every year: The Souls of Black Folks and Up from Slavery. And I like both books, but I kind of like Booker T. Washington and George Washington Carver, how they came from. They took a piece of land that was considered useless, and they turned it into something and built that university. And just looking at their scribe, and that's kind of what I'm basing this right here on too. Believe it or not, kind of like what Booker T. Washington done with Tuskegee, where he grabbed those guys and they built everything by themselves and moved on with it. On that university, they made everything all the way down to the bricks. And I'm kind of basing my businesses on this business here and the houses kind of on what they're done. Well, anyway, we used to have a debate every year because he didn't like Booker T. Washington. He used to say all this stuff about Booker T. Washington. He was going by what he had heard somebody said about his speech he done at the Atlanta convention, and he just said Booker T. Washington was Uncle Tom, this, and we used to have a debate. I said Booker T. Washington wasn't that bad. And I said everybody go off of that one speech. And then, like I said, we supposed to be reading the book, so we read Souls of Black Folks, and every time we talked throughout that what was going on. Then we got to the point where we was going to read Up from Slavery, and like I said, this is about the third year that we have went through this procession, and I'm reading Up from Slavery, and we'll talk in the morning. We having a debate. And I start asking him about stuff that's going on in the book and try to figure out where he was at, because some of the stuff he was saying just won't lining up. And then finally he came out and told me, he said, "Look, Sneed, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I just can't bring myself to read that book." I said, "You never read the book?" He said, "No." And I said, "Well, you've been debating me on it for the last 3 years, and you never read it." He said, "No, I just can't bring myself to read it." But I realized then that was he was debating me on what he believed, and it was actual fact. He just believed that's the way Booker T. Washington was. He believed something was going on, even though he could went and read the actual facts and know exactly what was happening. He didn't want to do that. He wanted to stick with his belief, and that's a lot of times what's happening when I go out here and I have to go with family and friends and everybody in the public. Go out here and you start talking business. You going on actual facts, hard facts, because you're doing it every day, and they're not doing it. But they have such a deep belief that this is what's going on, that now not only are they poisoning themselves and hindering themselves from progressing, but they're also putting that poison and that belief into the next generation coming behind them. And it's up to us to actually go there and plow up that mess and diss it up, and we got to disprove them. So when I come out here to this service center and I do these videos and document it from the beginning to the end, and I let y'all see it, y'all can actually say, yeah, regardless of what Sneed put that together, he got the product in here, he got those kids learning, and he has some place for these kids to go, and he's actually paying those kids, and he's doing a good thing. And that was one of the things I was telling them there yesterday. I was like, look what I said. This is not bragging or boasting or anything. But I was telling them, I said, look, I haven't worked a job going on 18 years now. I haven't been in corporate America going on 18 years. And some of them would say that was because I got laid off, fired, laid off, fired is the same thing. It's no different. And you couldn't make it in corporate America. Okay, I couldn't make it in corporate America as an engineer. If they say that, that's fine. I don't have no problem with that. I want a good engineer. Well, anyway, I come here, and like they say, if you hadn't got laid off or fired, you'd still be in corporate America. I probably would have been. I'm glad they did let me go. But anyway, I couldn't make it in corporate America. So I come here, going on 18 years now. 18 years. I haven't worked a job. I've sent my kids to the best private schools there is to go to. I've sent nieces and nephews to school, where help send them to school, give them allowances while they're getting not just say y'all go to college, but while they're in college, they're contested this. They know that once a month Uncle Mike gonna give them some money from someplace. One day I hope to be able to pay for all of their college education and stuff. But I know right now I'm not at that position, but I am at the position where I can send them a monthly stipend if they're going to college to help with their monthly bills. They can say, okay, Uncle Mike does that. I've created probably 5 or 6 businesses within that time that actually is running, and they are still running. I've had probably 7 to 8 people who came who didn't have any businesses and had got laid off from their jobs, came and worked for me. And within 2 to 3 years, they had their own businesses up and running, and they are still up and running, and they're doing well. The employees that work with me, they're not making no $20,000-$30,000 a year. They're making more than the average household. Average household. That's the household. That's including the husband and the wife. If you dare, and if you only one person, you only you probably just making about 30,000, 25, 30,000 a year. But the average household, that's including 2-parent household in America, only makes about 55,000 a year. And my employees, they make more. They make more than that, a lot more than that, working for me. I'm coming here now where I'm taking the kids, and not only am I giving them a job and giving them a place to learn actual viable skills when they get out of here, where they can go out and actually and earn a decent living. But I'm taking them and I'm teaching them entrepreneurship, where they y'all saw these kids. They came in from the bottom up, and they're putting this business together, and they're seeing every end of it, and I'm paying them while they go. And yet and still I get chastised about it and say that right now, like I say, they used to call me. I told them on the interview this weekend. People used to call me Kanye West, but sure enough, this weekend I got my new name, Soldier Boy. I told you they're gonna do that. They started calling me Soldier Boy. So now here I am now, where now I'm Soldier Boy. It was just so crazy. Even down to the fact of talking about protecting your family and stuff. They asking me, "You crazy? Why you take I take tactical training, where I go out and I learn how to fight with pistols, rifles, how to fight with knives and stuff." And they asking me, "Why you take tactical training?" I said, "Do you see the news?" I said, I'm not go there. It ain't just 1 or 2 people. It's a classroom of 50 or 60 people in there learning how to fight in tactical training. And most of the time, I'm the only African American in there. And they was like, "Well, why are you doing that? You're going to make something bad come to you. Something bad going to happen." And I tell them, in the book, The Art of the War, they tell you never know when or where your enemy is going to come. You don't know when your enemy is going to come and attack you. You don't know where he's going to come and attack you. But you have to just be there, and you got to be prepared to receive him when he comes. I said, if you whatchamacallit, if I know that other people are doing this, and I start seeing on the news that a lot of knife attacks are starting to pop up and stuff, and I know from tactical training that somebody got a knife, he's quicker than somebody who got a pistol. So somebody got a knife on you, he can get his knife on you quicker than you can get your pistol out and draw and get a round off. So I know then, okay, I need to learn how to protect myself. A knife if somebody comes up. And I'm telling them the techniques and stuff. And they don't care. You crazy? Oh God, why you carrying a knife? Why you carrying a pistol? And I said because I'm an American. That's my right to carry that. And they get mad about that. I don't even some of the women. I was surprised. Even some of the women we were talking about the young lady at the McDonald's register where the guy fighting her and stuff. And I said, none of the men step up to help her, to defend her. They step up and they grab her. And they was like, well, that's right. And we don't need no man to protect us. Oh my God, what in the world? We've been fighting by ourselves. We don't need no man. We don't want this. It was just crazy. And I had to hear that all weekend and stuff on top of me getting out here trying to build this stuff for these kids and building the business. Nobody never comes to me and say, hey, Sneed, I like what you're doing. How can I help you out? Or I don't really need no help. Just words of inspiration. Just, hey, I appreciate what you're doing, man. I appreciate it. And that was one of the things, too, I was telling JT Hustles. He's been an entrepreneur for 4 years. And now it's getting to a point, and Jerry, you might have seen this, too. Jerry's been an entrepreneur for a long time. Where in when we first started being an entrepreneur 10, 15 years ago, man, it was worse than it is now with people coming at you. Because they figured the only reason you was an entrepreneur because you didn't have a job and you weren't really making no money and you couldn't do anything else. So it was really looked down upon, and the fight was worse than it is now. Now it's actually starting to be cool, and people are thinking about becoming an entrepreneur and stuff. But up until then, up until the last 5 years, it wasn't cool to be an entrepreneur. If you was an entrepreneur and you were talking stuff that entrepreneurs talk, you were considered crazy. Your family probably want to put you in a crazy house. And so I that's why I say right now I might be a little jaded because I had to go through that those beginning years to where I'm at now, where people now are actually starting to come around, and I'm actually seeing, like I say, this was the very first time that when that young man told me that this last weekend that he looked at me and he wanted to do exactly what I was doing. That's the first time I ever heard a young man say that. Most of the time, their parents and stuff don't want them to do what I'm doing. They want them to be going off to a 4-year university or doing something. Don't even know what they want to do, but they just know they need to go to a 4-year university. But that was the first time I heard a young man say, hey, I want to do what you're doing. And I hope the fact that and plus he lives my next door neighbor, so he's probably seen me throughout the years, and I hope what I've done throughout the years and the way I carried myself had something to do with that. Even though I was getting chastised and this and that, I hope the way I stood up and tried to be upright during that time, I hope that had some bearing on him. That hey, I want to be just like him when I get up. But that's why I was coming to you today. Why do we start so many businesses? As African Americans, we got to change that mindset. Stop asking people. Stop putting down our actual business owners and the people who are out here producing. I was just looking at a article on CNN where people working at G&M at the G&M factories making cars, and they're surprised that people are racist and don't want them there and stuff. What do you expect? They ain't never changed since the country started. But they're surprised and this and that. But they don't have anywhere else to go. They haven't decided they're going to start a business for themselves. You start a business for yourself, you can deal with race. You can always have racist people, but I haven't dealt with any overt racism. Somebody didn't like me, they didn't care. They want the washer fixed, I want the money, and we move on. We ain't got to be together in our social constructs or anything. And most of the time, once you become an entrepreneur, you believe me or not, once you become an entrepreneur, a lot of racism and stuff, it almost gets erased because you're in your total control and you don't care any much what nobody thinks. You don't care because you kind of create your own environment, and that was one of the things too that they were kind of on me about. You don't control anything. I do pretty much control what's going on in my life. And as far as if I get some bad health or something like that, no, I don't control that. But I can control how it kind of affects my family. I can put safeguards in place of that, so it don't destroy what I've built in my family. But pretty much you pretty much control. I can set my own schedule, come to work when I want to, and like I say, I decided I want to create a little school for kids. I didn't go out here and beg, like no, don't get me wrong or anything. I understand the fight that they got going on, but back home in my hometown, they're closing some of the what used to be predominantly black schools. They're closing them now, and that it could be bad, it could be good. If they closing them down, they once were predominantly black schools, and especially if the black families gave the money and the land and the resources for the school to start with, then you go back to instead of trying to force the county to keep the school open, go back and take it. Say, hey, fine, turn it back over to the family, or turn it back over to create an organization or a LLC and say, hey, we want these schools back. We want the resources back. They belong to us. We bring them back, and we're going to turn them into cultural arts centers and stuff. And you come out and get with somebody, or even I'll be willing to come out there and say, hey, we're going to start training these young men in the skilled trades, and I come out there and I'll set up a shop out there and bring product and stuff there, and start teaching the kids. So just because the county is refusing to teach down there anymore, that don't mean you can't. You take it and move and teach what you want to teach. You know what the kids are getting. You know they're getting a sound education. So you take it out their hands and put it back in your hands. That's what I've done. I ain't complaining. They like I said, they took the skilled trades out the schools. Everything I learned this in high school. I always say, hey, they took it out of high schools. Okay, I knew they took it out. They ain't gonna put it back in because I think they should have it back in. So what I do, I come out here, I say, I teach it myself. I create something, I teach it myself. The schools don't want to do it. I ain't gonna say that word, but forget them. If the schools don't want to do it, forget them. I don't care. I teach it myself. I ain't gonna wait for them to do it. And so that's the mindset you have as an entrepreneur. Somebody else ain't gonna do it. Who cares? F them. I do it myself. I ain't gotta wait for them, and I ain't got work. I ain't gotta get no permission to do it. I ain't got get no permission to do it. Matter of fact, my shop right here is pretty much what we had in the school system when I was there. Matter of fact, it's more advanced than what I had when I was in the school system. And I can control this, and it start now. I just got 3 students, but if it picks up, never know. Maybe 5 years now, I have 30, 40 kids in here learning this stuff. But that's what you do. That's what you do, and you get behind somebody who's doing that. You don't dare and make that person have to defend helping you. No, I'm helping you, and you fighting me the whole time. I'm trying to help you, fighting me. And I always tell them, when Harriet Tubman was freeing slaves, she had to carry a shotgun. And the shotgun wasn't for the slave catchers. She knew they couldn't catch them. But the shotgun was for when 3 o'clock in the morning, when those bloodhounds are on your trail and they barking, and that Negro want to turn around and go back to the plantation. She had to take the shotgun and put it to the back of his head and tell him, hey, we going forward. and if you gonna keep going forward, and if you ain't gonna go forward, I'm gonna plant you out here because it's bigger than you. That's why it's bigger than you. Because if you go back, you jeopardize everything that everything that we've done thus far, and you jeopardize the people who's coming behind you who will never get free. And that's the same reason why I have to go out there and put words and fight with old people. And I'm glad that's another thing too. I'm so glad that people ask me, why you do this stuff on YouTube and social media? You trying to show off and this and that. And same thing with Soulja Boy. I'm glad that he documented. That's another thing with social media, because people got a short memory span, because they'll forget everything you done. So everything that I told them, when they would bring up stuff that I hadn't done or stuff that I had done, I got it all documented right here. For the last 4 or 5 years, I've documented everything I've done in business. So if somebody say I haven't done it, hey, I'm like Soulja Boy. Hey, I got the video. Let's go see. You can see where I've done it, and you can see where I said something. So because people were telling me stuff that I had said that I hadn't said. I said, I didn't say that. Yes, you did say it. What? Pull the video up. We pulled the video up. Well, I didn't hear that. Who problem is that? It ain't my fault that you didn't hear it that way. I said it. Well, if I didn't hear it, then somebody else. But that's not my fault if somebody else heard something that they wanted to hear. I said it this way. This is what I said. And now that you're going around telling a lie that I said something different, then that's on you for telling that lie. It ain't the fact that it was funny. Somebody said several times, people said I said this and that. And I was like, no, I didn't. And they pulled the video up. And when the video come up, it came out the way I said it, and they got mad. Even to the point one time, somebody got mad because I told the truth. They was like I should have lied. I was like, lie for what? Well, you don't tell everybody everything. I said, good Lord, what in the world? I said, somebody asked me something, and I told them exactly how I done it. Because if they don't do it exactly the way I done it, then they not gonna get the results that I got. So I tell them exactly how I done it. And and they was like, well, you shouldn't be that way. You don't have to be so truthful. Honest. That's what I was told. You shouldn't have to be so truthful when you telling your videos. And it was. It's just crazy. When I say it now, it even sounds crazy. They're telling me I shouldn't be so truthful. And the reason why I could tell them that what I said, I said, and like I told them too, the reason why I can go back and tell y'all exactly what I said and when I said it at that time, because I'm not doing like I tell you with my friend who had never read the book, but he was going by what he believed. That's why a lot of I was telling in that interview this weekend, I've met a lot of what so-called business owners, a lot of business owners, and I thought that they own businesses, and we would have business discussions and stuff, talk about business, and then it didn't sound right, information that they were telling me. And then I would come back later on and find out that the information that they told me wasn't right because they had never done the business. They were just going by something they read or something they believed or something they thought they were going to, something they were planning on doing. They had never done it. And so their information was wrong. And a lot of times it varied. They'll tell me something one day, then the next day they'll tell me something different because they done read some other information that was kind of contrary to what they had read at the beginning, and it kept swaying. But that's why I say with me, I don't sway on it because I actually do it. I do it every day, and when I do it every day, I whatchamacall. I don't have to lie about it because I do it every day. It's second nature. I just tell exactly what I do. So if what I done 5 years ago is going to be the same thing I do today. And when I tell you to do this, I can tell you the reason why you do it because it's the same reason why I done it back then. But once again, like I say, thank y'all for tuning in. Those people who saw the interview this past weekend, I thank y'all for tuning in. I thank for the new subscribers. If you get a chance and you haven't subscribed to Save, Invest, Repeat, go over there. Like I said, in this workshop, I switched the camera around. Over here, like I said, we got the TVs up, but we also gonna have cameras here. We're gonna have microphones here, and we're gonna actually start recording over here how to actually do repairs and stuff. So this is gonna be an actual recording studio. And the kids, matter of fact, the kids are actually whatchamacall. They're actually helping me put that together, and they're helping me get my social media and stuff up to snuff. And so we're good. It's going to be good here. And for people, even some family and friends, I will say this. It's not all of them. Some of them do come out and say, "Hey, I appreciate what you've done," and I like to hear that. They don't get in the middle of it when it's going down because it can get ugly, and I understand that. Nobody wants to get a whole group of people coming at them, but in private sessions, a lot of them do come back and tell me I understand, or later on they'll come back and say, yes, Sneed, what you said was right, and I appreciate what you're doing, and I admire that, and that really helps a lot. That really helps a lot to ease the steam. So because sometimes when you leave all the discussions, if you go a whole weekend, or in my cases, I go months and months on end having to defend. Helping African Americans and defend being an entrepreneurship. If you have to go months and months and ends on ends, actually fighting, it get to a point where sometimes you do question of why do you want to keep helping a group of people who don't know they need to be helped, and I have to then realize it ain't their fault. They didn't just get this way. It took hundreds of years to get them into that mindset that this is what they have to do, and I gotta be patient with that, and I gotta keep me moving forward. And I gotta write off some of these people who are here, the naysayers. I just gotta write them off and look at that young man who said, "Hey, I want to be just like you now," and just worry about that generation. And and also I'm gonna start. I said too. Instead of me being on the defensive all the time. I'm going to start being on the offensive a little bit now. So this year for 2019, There's not gonna be so much of why I'm gonna be kind of like Soldier Boy again. They gonna be calling me Soldier Boy now. I'm gonna be like him. I'm not gonna be so much of defending why I start businesses and why I'm an entrepreneur. But I'm gonna start asking them the same question he asked that girl: why you don't have no business? What business you doing this year? So when I get someplace and when we get ready to go, I'm gonna say, hey, show me what you've done. What have you built? Why you not building anything? And explain to me why. If I can do this as one person doing all this, why can't you do it as why you can't do one thing? If I'm doing 15, 20 things on my own, and I got the same amount of hours in my day as you got, why you can't build one thing on your own? So I'm gonna start asking that question, and I'm kind of curious to see why they don't. So, but once again, thank y'all for tuning in. Let me rant a little bit this morning. Later this week, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna do the video on how I structure my money. I gave a little brief topic of it in that video I done this weekend. But I'm gonna come back this week and I have the whiteboard in here set up now, so I can actually write and you can see it. And I have the tripod set up where I can actually do more of a teaching session. So I'm gonna do that this week. How I structure my money from to be able to afford to build businesses, invest, and support my household. So once again, thank you all for tuning in. If you have any questions, concerns about business, what we're doing here, if you want to come out and just check us out, just come down here and check us out. If you got a kid that's interested in it, right now we're pretty limited on space, so I only have about room for 3 kids to join in on the weekends. But if you would like for your kids to join in and stuff, let me know, and I might start getting a sign-up sheet, and I might just rotate them out. Take 3 kids, put them in the appliance thing, and maybe take 3 or 4 more kids and let them start doing the houses once the weather break, and then once let them go for a semester or 2, and then rotate them out and bring some more in. So let me know if you're interested in it. If you got young high school kids, or if you're a man and you're in the area and you want to learn the trade, just let me know, and I'll start looking into maybe finding a way we could do that. Thank you again for tuning in, and have a good day.